Hey, family, welcome to the Jamal Bryant Let's Be Clear podcast. If you were not invited to the Met Gala, don't worry about it. You're invited to be with the #1 stylist in Black America. I'm grateful to have sister and new friend Tameka Foster Raymond in the building.
How are you?
I'm wonderfully well.
Good.
I want to ask you this. How come black people don't dress anymore?
Because I retired. No. No.
Yes.
I mean, I think it is their version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do their iteration of getting dressed. We probably look at it different. We're a little old school. So, yeah, and everybody just wants to sag, and I don't know what they're doing now.
What is happening in this whole move of fashion where it is liquid sexuality? Men are now in skirts and dresses. The women are now in tuxedos. Is this the direction, or is this just a trend?
I think the world has gotten very fluid, liquid. Do you call it liquid? I call it
Fluid is the word I was looking for.
I think fashion's a lot less expensive now because the girls don't wear bottoms. So, you know,
Well, that part.
they just wear, they don't wear any bottoms. So I'm noticing that, they just got to buy nice tops and shoes.
Yeah. Karl Lagerfeld said the last step before tacky is trendy. What is...
That's a fact.
yeah.
I'd never even heard that quote, but I live by it. I don't follow trends. I never did. Even when I was styling, I preferred classic style because I think it's something that's timeless and you can look back at it and say, oh, that was cool. I still look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of my projects, I can look at them now, even though they were done 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're timeless. They look good.
What was your initial draw? A lot of people who think they are fashionable think that they are stylists. Buying a trench coat and getting a picture on Instagram does not make you a stylist.
I always say that. I say, just because you own a trench coat and worked at J. Crew for a week, you are not a stylist.
Right.
But I think it's a term that is overused. I think everybody says they're a stylist. And you know what? I don't even call myself a stylist anymore. I'm kind of out of the game. I'm kind of a retired relic of a stylist.
Yes.
The natural progression for me was to go into design. So I'm more focused on design now.
I got it.
Yeah.
You wear many hats, doing many things. You've just released a book, Here I Stand, in the state, a beautiful state. We're going to talk about this book in a minute. I wanted to ask you, being the complex Renaissance woman that you are, forward thinking, why did you keep the name of your ex-husband?
Well, I keep both names.
Yes.
And he gave it to me. So, no, I just believe in paralleling my kids' names. I hate the idea of going to school and having different names. They're still in school.
Yeah.
So it's like Miss Foster, Miss Raymond, Miss this, Miss, so I just keep their names just until they're I'll probably drop it when they turn about 18.
Wow.
Or until someone changes it.
Well.
And then there's that.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
You all heard it here first. I wanted to ask you, because you have got to be probably one of the strongest, graceful women to have to deal with public onslaught. And I wanted to know how you handle critique, drum roll, from the unqualified and from strangers. It's one thing when you're auditioning to get into Juilliard with accomplished artists on the other side of the table. But internet has empowered people with no certification to have license over your life.
They really, I call them thumb thugs.
Yeah.
Because the internet is full of people that are, I think they're huge cowards because oftentimes they'll say all kinds of stuff on the internet, but then see you in person and want to take a picture.
Yes.
Wow. Can you sign my book? I be looking like, you just said I was, everything. But the internet has emboldened people to say whatever they feel, and they sit behind a computer waiting on a hot pocket, and they thumb thugs.
Wow.
They're just thugs. They just type up a bunch of negative stuff. And I realize that hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, I look at the person that's saying all the stuff, and they definitely aren't qualified. I'm like, girl, did you grease the door before you came through to say this about, you know what I mean? Like they They say a lot of rude stuff, but usually they're going through pain.
No, I get it. For the hip-hop generation, I hope you are not offended. For the hip-hop generation, you probably were the first person who got the title of being a cougar.
Dang, that's cold.
No, really. There was a big blow up on the age difference.
And you know what's crazy? It's only 7 years. It's not even.
Really?
Yeah, I see these girls out here. They doing it big on the cougar tip. I lost my cougar crowd. These girls are 20. They got men 20 years younger. They having children. They doing they just doing it big. I was 7 years older. I am 7 years. I guess I'm about 7.5 years older.
Yeah.
He's not much. And his soul, his spirit, he's very mature.
Yes.
I'm probably goofier. And, sometimes I'd say more fun. He's a calm being. They don't realize how mature in his ways.
How was it? Marriage is private, marriage is intimate, and regrettably, divorce is public.
Funny. That's interesting. Yeah.
So people who weren't in the marriage, everybody volunteered to be in the divorce. And tell me how you
divorce
navigate
was very
this.
seamless. I'm sorry.
Yes, no, go ahead. Tell me.
No, I was going to say, I had a very quiet divorce, believe it or not. My divorce was quiet. It was private. We did not go to court. We didn't fight over anything. I didn't fight over money and whatever people, fight over usually. What was public is we went through a custody issue, and that was what was public. And everyone thought that was my divorce, but that was a year later. The divorce was cool. We went to dinner after we got.
Wow.
Yeah, the divorce was fine. We were cool. It was the custody thing that got a little tricky, and people have that confused.
How have you navigated safeguarding your children while being in public space?
Transparency. We are both very transparent. I tell them, they read it, they hear about it. My kids are teenagers, 15 and 16, and they'll ask me, and I just tell them the truth about what happened.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything that I've done that I'm ashamed of. Either it was a lesson or a blessing or, and people have come around for reasons, seasons, and lifetimes.
Yeah. And
so I explain to them what happened and whatever the instance is. And my kids are just, I don't know, they're tough as nails. I guess they got it honest. They got it, yeah.
Yeah. How in finding your own identity, what I call midlife puberty, is that you're coming into a blossoming or reawakening of who you are as a woman. How are you able to find that independent identity while still being connected to somebody you're not attached to?
It's difficult. It's difficult. Like, I've been sitting here for, I think, 7 minutes, or what is that? Yeah, 8 minutes, 13 seconds. And I'd say about 7 of the minutes have been about my ex.
Yes.
Right? So it's difficult, and I have to navigate that. And I know that's kind of par for the course.
Yeah.
And I realize that people want to know who I was attached to and what that's like, instead of really getting to know who I am. And, and whence I came. They don't really take as much time to find that out. So back to your question, how do I navigate it? I'm just built for it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next 7 minutes.
Okay.
I've just started the clock over. I don't know nothing about your ex.
Okay.
I want to know about you. Who are you?
There we go.
Home of the Black Panthers, Oakland, California.
Period.
Former headquarters for Marcus Garvey. It is the epicenter for Angela Davis, Huey P. Newton, H. Rap Brown, and so many other great forward thinkers for the
Tom Hanks. Zendaya.
I don't know if we can put Tom Hanks in a Black Panther category.
I'm joking.
Yes.
No, I'm joking.
Yes, but tell me who you are. How'd you get from Oakland to Atlanta?
Oakland, let me start with Oakland first. Oakland is one of the coolest. I mean, it's dangerous. It has a reputation for many things, but as far as the people that it births, they're really as real as they come. Seriously, I mean, we are, I think, pretty transparent, and we just as real as they come. I went to school there. I was born and raised there. I went to the Fashion Institute in Los Angeles. That's what got me out of Oakland.
Yeah.
And then I ended up in Atlanta because I got married to my high school sweetheart from the Bay. He moved here after graduating from Howard and started.
So you've been married twice?
Yeah, I've been married twice. Yeah. See, they don't know about
I didn't know that.
First husband was amazing. He was a great guy. Never talk about him because they only care about
Well, no, you
top roller
you
skaters.
still got the clock running.
Oh, no, okay.
We got 6 minutes left for just you.
All right,
Come on now.
We back.
Yes.
Back on track.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, I moved to Atlanta because of my first husband.
Yes.
He was living here, had a record label, and I lived in LA. I was styling. I had finished the fashion.
Wait, your first husband was in the music business?
Yes, he was in the music business.
Wow.
But he was an executive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he owns a bank now, so it's a little different.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's got some cool
Okay.
things going on. And a network. He's got some things going on.
Awesome.
He got some things going on. He's cool. So my first husband was my high school boyfriend.
Wow.
We didn't see each other for like 10 years. He went on to Howard, got his accounting degree, blah, blah, blah. Moved here, started a record label. We ran into each other at an event in Miami, and he moved me here. He was like, you coming to Atlanta. I was like, I am.
Wow.
And I had one son at the time.
Yeah.
I had a son. He was probably like 6, I think, when he moved here. And I got here and stayed. This is my roots. I'm an Atlantan now.
One of the greatest albums, and we're not talking about your ex,
Because
the first or the second one. I'm not talking about the first or the second one. One of the greatest albums is the Jackson 5 Christmas album.
Okay.
You don't even know why I'm bringing that up.
I don't know.
I'm getting ready to jump you from the back.
Let's see.
I'm trying to figure out how the Jackson 5 did a Christmas album, and they were Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's tricky because
And the reason why I'm asking Tameka this question is many of you do not know that she was raised a Jehovah Baptist, as a Jehovah Witness and a Baptist. So I want to ask you, growing up then, did you celebrate Christmas?
yes and no.
Okay.
All right. So my mom and dad, my mother's family is from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Oh, yes.
They Southern down to the roots.
Yes.
They were Baptists. I went to Baptist church. I was baptized in the Baptist church.
Yes.
But when my father and mother kind of split, I lived with my other grandmother, who was a Jehovah's Witness. So I was taught, I went from door to door.
You did?
I did impromptu talks.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How old were you?
Yeah, I was
How old
young.
were you?
I'd say between the ages of 8 and 11.
I got to tell you something. I'm embarrassed now that you're here. I've never opened the door for a Jehovah's Witness.
That is so bad. Everybody
I've
does.
never opened the door. So let me ask you this. If I open the door right now, what's your first line? What's the line?
If you would have died today,
Yes.
where would you go?
Oh, I'm
You
going
know
to
where
heaven.
you go.
I'm
See?
sitting on the right hand of the
See,
Father.
so you should open the door and say that.
I didn't know. I didn't feel like
Everybody was scared of us. They thought we were Taboo Tuesday. What did we do?
No, what y'all did was y'all always came while Soul Train was on.
Oh,
Saturday afternoons at 11 o'clock,
we did.
you were coming
Facts.
between us and Don Cornelius.
And we didn't watch that.
Yeah, y'all need to come Tuesday afternoons.
We was at
available.
Bible study. Well, we're
Oh,
getting
well,
ready
there
for
you
Bible
go.
study. That's where I did my impromptu talk.
Yes. And you all also don't celebrate Jehovah's Witnesses because you're not Jehovah's Witness anymore.
I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, but
Okay.
but I will say that there are teachings that I learned as a Jehovah's Witness
Yes.
that stick with me.
Okay, do you
So-
celebrate your birthday?
Yeah, my birthday is New Year's. Everybody celebrates my birthday.
Yes, but don't Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays?
No,
Yes.
they
Or
they
Christmas.
acknowledge your birthday. They'll
Yes.
say today's your birthday, but they're not gonna have a big. I know. That was always a little bit confusing. So I'm like, I'm going to my other grandmama's
Yes.
house. Y'all playing
So
over
what
here.
is the upside of being a Jehovah's Witness in the earth, not on the other side?
Well,
in the earth, why would I be excited about being?
In hindsight,
Yes.
right? Because at the time I saw nothing.
Yes.
I was like, why can't I do this? And Why
Yes.
can't? But the truth is that all these holidays, the majority of them are pagan holidays.
Yes.
Easter and the egg and the what's this, the rabbit, all that
Yes.
stuff. What does that have to do with the death of Jesus, really?
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's pagan. That's a money-making way for commerce and, whatever.
Yes.
And the same with Christmas, whereas in the Bible it says when he was born, it was warm. It was a warm night,
Yes.
So it's speculation about when Jesus was born.
Yes.
And so they feel like all the other pomp and circumstance and the Christmas tree and the Santa suit has nothing to do with Christ, you know, in the for real. And so, and then the giving of gifts, all that again is, you know, communism. You know, I mean, commerce. You know, everybody's trying to sell.
Yes.
You sell.
So you don't give gifts.
I do. Yes. I do. I mean, it's very hypocritical, I know, but that's the hard part about it. Once you know better, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to know better and still do it.
Right.
But I do. I participate in Christmas for my children. And
but you don't want
I don't mind. Yeah, I take a little something.
You do take gifts. Stop it now. You're going to take them for Kwanzaa because you're from Oakland. And you're going to take
I'm like, today
gifts.
Is Nia now. You know, today is Nia.
Yes,
you
it is that. Tell me what drove you to write in this best-selling book that's available on Amazon.com right now.
And on TamekaRaymond.com.
And on TamekaRaymond.com.
Yeah.
Tell me what drove you to write this book.
It started out kind of like a diary. I just started writing down everything I felt. What are you feeling today? So I was just writing everything as I was going through my divorce.
Yes.
My second divorce.
Yes.
My second divorce. Second time, because I had gone through so much public scrutiny and, you know, so much fodder about who I was and was I a gold digger? And
yes.
I don't know. Did I leave my children? And I mean, so many rumors about myself that I would read. So as I was going through the divorce, I started just writing my feelings every day. And then as time went on, I was like, I'm not telling my business to the world, you know. So I sat on it. I sat on it for probably 5 years. I didn't want to put it out. I had, you know, publishing companies coming at me like, you going to do a tell-all? No. And so when the pandemic came, you know, we were all stuck in the house. I decided to finish it. I said, but the beauty is that I let those pages just like marinate for all those years. And then I realized that I wasn't taking ownership. So I started rewriting certain chapters. Because, you know, you blame, when you're going through a divorce, you blaming the other person. It's always their fault, of course.
Yes.
You don't take ownership. And so I started to take ownership and learn, you know, like you did this and you were kind of this way and you should have changed and you should have shut up or you should have, you know. I found my flaws in it. The
best, well, don't want to say best.
Okay.
One of the most important chapters in the book. I'm the proud brother of just one sister. And one of the most important chapters of the book that I want you to unpack, because we deal with it in closed doors and not in public space, and that is Pretty for a Dark Girl.
I thought you were going to say something else.
See that?
Because I had a chapter called Mad at God.
Nope. That's too
Powerful.
predictable. Too predictable.
Oh, it's powerful.
We're going to wait to the end.
Okay.
We'll wait to the end.
Okay.
But talk about the whole colorization that still exists. Your family's from Louisiana, where they had the paper bag tests, that if you were darker than a brown paper bag, that was the second tier.
I was going to get kicked out of the whole...
Oh, listen.
I'd have got kicked out of the whole community, the whole family, if you go based on that.
Well, then I couldn't have gotten the zip code if you couldn't.
If
you couldn't get it. Say, but tell me where that phrase came from and how it connects to you.
It's funny. Pretty for a dark-skinned girl was a backhanded compliment that I would always get. Like, she's cute, I guess. She's pretty to be dark. You know, it's like a real backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
I wrote it. It was for Huffington Post originally. And I just wrote about my experience, just everything I went, you know, it was just so much colorism. I feel that a lot of the scrutiny I went through was because I was a dark-skinned girl. I really believe that. I still believe that. I think that somehow our people are more, we just favor lighter skin and we don't even realize it. We don't realize that it's kind of intra-racism.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you date light-skinned men?
No, not
now
really.
there we go. Now
see,
here's the hypocrisy.
See? That's wrong.
Here's the hypocrisy.
But but I'm not close to it, and I don't hate them. I don't say.
Yes, but you have a preference.
Well, yeah, I have a preference.
Yes. So why is it if men have a preference, it's a bias, but if women have a preference, it's a preference? Because if a man sitting in that seat said the exact same thing you just said, they would be screaming online, give us Barabbas.
Wait. Saying the way that you prefer.
Yes.
No. You don't get it.
Because you said you were Team Kendrick, not Drake. That's what you just said.
Oh, Lord.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
you
ain't
said.
seen
You
that.
said you're not for light-skinned men.
Oh, no, but I love Drake. See, that's
Me
funny.
too.
I love them both.
But he lost.
Well, see.
You think he won? Do you
I
think he
think
won?
no one wins.
Well, come on.
When you got millionaires
Come on,
arguing
Dr.
over
King.
stuff,
Come on.
no one
It
wins.
was a nonviolent war. It was a nonviolent war. Well, tell me what your sons think. Do your sons think Drake won?
No.
Okay, thank you.
But but I ain't feeding them tonight.
Okay, but that's so Drake is the only light-skinned man you stand by.
I love Drake.
Yes.
You know what? Anytime you come up with a song lyric that you only love your bed and your mama,
Yes.
I was all in. He had me. I was like, I love Drake forever, y'all.
Yes.
And
But you know that's been misquoted
why?
because that's not what he said.
Why? Really?
No, he said Ahmed, his son. And Negroes translated say bed.
Okay. His son ain't named Ahmed?
Yes, that's what he calls him. His name is Adonis or something.
Adonis. That's it.
Yeah. Check it.
I don't know. What
Do
he
a
said-
Google search, those of you who watch.
I guess
Do a
what?
Google
But I
search.
know he said
Put
mama.
in the thread
He
right
said
now
mama.
which one it is.
I got all sons. He
Yes.
said mama. That
Yes.
part. That's where he got
Oh,
me.
that's the
I
part
don't
that
even
you
care
like.
about the bed, Ahmed.
Yes.
None of
So
it. He said mama.
Yes. So you want a dark-skinned man. What if he's 7 years younger? Are you going to go back to a younger man? Do you trust younger men now?
No.
Uh-oh.
I trusted the person. Wait, whoa. I never said I didn't trust.
I didn't say you said
Oh,
that.
okay.
I didn't say you did. I'm just asking.
The man I
would you-
married, I trusted. That's why I
Yes.
married.
Yes. And I'm asking you now that you are back in the market,
Yeah.
would you date a light-skinned man that's 7 years younger than you?
I date anyone that
Uh-oh.
could. I date anyone that
Yes.
could. See, I can't even answer.
I didn't
right.
know answer it.
What happened was,
Yes.
no, I date anyone that could stand up to the task.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. You got to
Stand up to the task and stand up to teenage boys. Because whoever you bring home now,
That has been.
they're going to be pledging online to get through that front door.
They are rough. Yeah, they are rough.
And I
My
know they
son-
got to be protective.
You know what's not fair about that? Their dad is remarried twice. Twice.
Yes.
I'm like, did you get
And
them?
for the record, you brought them up. But go ahead.
You brought.
You brought them up. I was just talking about Drake.
Okay, but no.
Yes.
Yeah, but no. My I would date a whatever. You know, just I don't know. That's hard. 'Cause I
Would you
don't know.
date 7 years older?
Yes, I would go 7 years old, but we got to stop about there.
Okay.
I tried to go older than 7 years. I have a young spirit. I like I like to travel. I like to do stuff. I like to shop. I like to dance. I dance a lot.
Yeah.
And so
Pop needed a nap.
we just don't want to do that stuff. Like, Lord, I ain't hearing all this racket.
Yeah. What was the most difficult chapter for you to write in this book? Not write, let me say it another way. What was the most difficult chapter for you to release or to share? Because you wrote it almost being cathartic in your own healing process, but that you had to wrestle and say, do I want people to have access to this part of my mind and my heart? Because this is writing and releasing what you're writing is vulnerability at a whole nother level.
Can I choose two?
You can choose two.
Okay.
It's your book.
I Was Here was a chapter I wrote about my son, Kyle. So losing my son, who was 11,
Yes.
and having to relive it. And see, I did an audio book as well.
Yeah.
So having to read the words and listen to it back and then it has sound effects like, the ambulance, the helicopter, the sounds in the hospital. It was like a cacophony of sounds with all the machines that he was connected to. So I would say that I Was Here was probably the hardest to write. But Mad at God was hard to write because it felt sacrilege. It felt, how do you, my grandmother, I grew up, my Baptist grandmother.
Yes.
Like, you don't doubt God, you don't spew God, you don't question God, because she's just Southern and that's the way she thought. But my mind was, that's my father.
Yeah.
That's my father. My dad, I was disappointed in my earthly father.
Yeah.
And so there are times I'm disappointed in my heavenly father.
A couple of weeks ago, we had on this show Sabrina Fulton, the mother of Trayvon Martin. And she said that there is a different sorority of mothers who've had to bury their children. Tell me how that impacted you.
She and I are friends. And
No way.
oh yeah, I love
Yeah,
her.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I love Sabrina. And yes, we are in I call it a club, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
We're in a club that we did not ask for admission to.
Right.
We didn't want to have membership. It's super difficult. I mean, again, you don't want to question God, but it's like there are so many bad actors out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're going to take someone off the earth, there's some I got a few names I can even give them.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to add to your list.
Right. So we know people that don't even really deserve to be walking around
I only
here.
got 2 to add. But
Right.
Go ahead.
I got about 7.
Yeah. We got to round it up to 10.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
there's a whole bunch of people out here that's doing bad things and hurting people
Yeah.
or being disobedient to their parents. And that wasn't my son.
Yeah.
So it was like, wait a minute. This kid has all the potential in the world.
Yeah.
You know, he wrote songs. He produced music. I have tracks. He produced music. He was 11 years old.
Wow.
He's got a YouTube channel still that I used to tell him, take that YouTube down. People are going to find you.
Right.
And that's what he wanted him to do, I guess.
Yeah.
So he still has it. He was ahead of the game with YouTube. He was a YouTuber long before it was a thing.
No, I love it. You give birth to geniuses.
I think.
Yeah.
Think.
No, that's
Thank
great.
you. I really think
I want you to walk through the process because there are a lot of people who think like your grandmother. You can't question God. When God is sovereign and is not intimidated by our questions, our apprehension, our disappointment, and our anger. Tell me, walking through your journey of having beef with God. Really.
Lightweight.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk, God. We got to talk. Mad at God. And again, it's not a selfish chapter because it's not just about Kyle. It's about all of the, atrocities that happen. I just woke up today and I read about a mother who videotaped herself shooting her 3-year-old child. Like,
Wow.
What in the world is going on?
Wow.
And she killed herself as well.
Right.
But she should have done the other one first, if you that crazy.
And not the video at all.
And then the video, right.
Yes.
And so I'm wondering, I always say we have a God. How does he not stop this? Like, why didn't he say, oh, make the gun jam or make the mother accidentally shoot herself first? You know what I mean? So I question some of but I'm still God-fearing.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not sacrilege, but it was hard to write it because I was like, Lord, please don't let a thunderbolt come through my house.
Right.
Even questioning you. But as my Heavenly Father, I think I should have the right and the onus to ask questions. And then also, you gave me the wherewithal. You gave me this brain that processes everything so quickly. So for me to have these questions, you put them there also. So many questions I have. I have questions about my questions.
Oh, right. Yeah, why I'm questioning.
Right.
Bernice King has a book called Heart Questions, Hard Answers. Is that you've got to really go into your heart to get that healing process done. Tell me, I want you to walk me through a moment as being not just a former stylist, but being stylish. Okay. I want you to talk about a moment you had where you looked amazing and felt empty.
It's a lot of those moments.
Pick one. You were going somewhere, looked in the mirror.
Usually it's on my birthday. So it had to be maybe my birthday. Maybe a couple years ago, I was having a little private birthday dinner. And my birthday being on New Year's is always very reflective for me because it's a new year and it's my new year. It's my personal new year. And I remember not having a date. I mean, I had guys that liked me or whatever, but nobody who I felt was
you
worthy.
Want to celebrate that day with.
Yeah, I'm bringing in the new year with you. That's
and your birthday.
And my birthday, my personal new year and New Year's.
Yes.
And I remember, I tell you, it was during the pandemic and I gave a 50th birthday party.
Yeah.
And it was at my house and I invited, I guess, 50 people. And everybody had on masks and stuff. It was weird. But I remember feeling like, God, my husband should be here. You know what I mean? I should be jumping on a plane, going back to Italy and bringing it in with my husband somewhere. You know what I mean? I thought, what am I doing? So I've had a lot of those moments, A lot of times you smile and people don't see what's behind it, you know?
What is the area of your life, if you could magically press a do-over button, what is it that you would do?
I don't know if this would have prevented this, but I would do over the day I left town to go to my friend's wedding when my son had the accident. I feel like, I kind of feel like you didn't have to go to these people's wedding.
Yeah.
You know, they were going to get married with or without you.
Yeah.
And it was my week, actually, to have my son. But I told my ex-husband, hey, I'm going to, you know, have Kyle come back to you. I'm going to go to this wedding in St. Martin. And it was actually Evelyn and Chad's wedding.
Oh, wow.
Ironically, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went to the wedding. And then, you know, the kids were going to be with him for a couple of days. So I was like, you know, I'm going to go over to Anguilla for a couple of days. Just, I got free time. I'm already over here.
Right.
And as soon as I landed in Anguilla, checked into the hotel, I got the phone call. So I'm kind of like, should you have kept Kyle with you that week?
Yeah.
You know?
Do you still blame yourself in some
I
way?
don't blame myself, because what I have come to realize is that his time was his time.
Mm-hmm.
And he had, you know, served his purpose on earth, apparently. You know, it's hard for me to say those words, but I know that to be true. His mark was made. I think he kind of passed me the torch, like, Mom, okay, now, I told you what I want to do. Yeah. I told you, because now I'm doing animation. Now I'm doing, you know, I'm doing other things to serve
So you
kids.
got beats on YouTube?
I don't know. If I could set up a YouTube channel, but no, I have a children's book that's coming. It's actually on pre-order. It's called The Odd Life of Kyle Lyles.
You were doing a lot.
Oh, man, it's my third book. It's my third book, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so The Odd Life of Kyle Lyles is an animated project in honor of Kyle. It's about a middle child that goes through crazy changes, and he ends up getting superpowers, and his family doesn't know.
Yeah.
So he's got to hide the powers, but they're really amazing powers. He can change the, you know, elements and things like that.
What is Tameka Foster Raymond's superpower?
My ability to remain in a beautiful state. And that is that things make me mad. People say things I don't like.
Yeah.
My kids' rooms are a mess probably right now. But I know how to say what I mean and go back to being in a beautiful state. Like, I don't hold grudges. I don't stay mad at people. Yeah. Nobody. There's nobody I can say right now that I'm mad at or I don't like. They may not like me. Yeah. But that's their problem. That's their cross to bear. But me, I remain in a beautiful state. Usually I have told you off. Yeah. And I said my piece.
And then you
I let it go, and I'd be like, do you want to get some spinach dip? We should go to Houston. Like, I let it go.
Before you got to the beautiful state, where did you live?
Mad. I was angry. Everything, everybody. If you did something, I'm from Oakland. So you Google us.
Yes.
No, I was Tameka in the real sense. Yeah. I would be Tameka. I used to get mad, and it could go wherever you wanted it to go. I got that switch, but I have mastered, I'd say, the ability to remain in a beautiful state. It's really about keeping my peace. It's about, I just don't be mad at stuff. It's not, I don't major in the minors. Yeah. I don't spend much time there.
What is the secret for young women who are attracted to powerful men but don't know how to keep their own identity?
Oh, I was going to say how to get them.
No. I wasn't.
Modesty.
That's the wrong show. Go
okay.
Not on how to get them. Yes.
Okay. How do you
keep your own identity when you are connected to somebody who is powerful?
The advice I would give, I can't say I've mastered it because obviously I didn't do it. So I don't all the way know.
Yes.
But I would dare to say, keep your independence, keep whatever you're doing, whatever it is that you had that attracted that man, keep doing it. So if you're working, don't quit your job because you get with this gazillionaire or whatever.
Right.
Keep your job, keep your career, keep your hobbies, keep yourself maintained.
What does that mean?
That means keep your hair and nails done, keep your teeth clean, keep your health good, keep your house nice. Cook sometimes if you know how. At least make tacos on Tuesday.
I'll learn on YouTube.
They'll learn exactly, or hire a chef. Listen,
You living in an alternative universe. The average person can't afford Uber Eats, and you talking about hire a chef.
that's not true. Because listen, what I'm saying,
Yes.
you can hire someone to come cook. It could be your Aunt Betha. Aunt Betha could come over and make 7 meals, and y'all package them up. You can do it together. Yes, you can. That's not an expensive feat.
Let me give you hood translation.
Okay.
Give meal prep, but go ahead.
That's kind of like meal prep. That's like meal prep. But I'm saying
No,
you can have your family help
yes.
you. But make sure he has something to eat.
Yes.
Those are things I'm saying. Make sure that his household, that's all a part of the house. So
Yes.
make sure the house is held down.
So there's a man watching today somewhere.
Where he at?
He's about 7 years younger than you.
How you doing?
He's not light skinned, like an almond brown. A man who's interested in dating Tameka Raymond Foster.
Raymond Foster.
Foster Raymond.
Or just Foster, as
Or
my dad
Foster.
would say.
Or
Right.
just Foster. A man who wants to date Tameka.
Okay.
Let's stop there. Should know what about you. Now, don't get your information off the tabloid, the internet, or the blog. They would need to know what about you.
That I got 3 jobs, man. You got to start knowing that. I'm doing a lot of things. I am dabbling in animation. I am a fashion designer. I'm an author. But my first job is I'm a mom.
Yeah.
And I have all boys.
Yeah.
What should he know? I love style and fashion and flights.
Yes.
I like to travel and things like that. I love God.
With all that you're doing.
Both gods. As people say, Jehovah
Yes.
and everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
With all that you're doing, are you succeeding in self-care?
I'd like to say yes. I think I'm doing well with that. I take care of myself, and I take care of my mental self, because that's really important.
Tell me how you do that.
I don't know. I tried to go crazy a couple times. My
Yeah.
brain is a trippy brain. It won't even allow me to get a crazy chick if I wanted one.
Wow.
I can't, because it unscrambled. Like, as soon as I thought I was going to go crazy, when my son passed away, I remember laying there like, I ain't going to do nothing. I'm just done with life. Blah, blah.
You're right.
And my brain was like, if you don't get up, go in there. You got to clean up his dishes in the kitchen. Like, my brain is like, no, we got to go. We got to go. We got things to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have to go and empower somebody. We have to go and go talk to other mothers. There's mothers that lost their kids that can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
You got to show them, get dressed. You got to live for your child.
Yeah.
You representing him now. I'm representing myself, and I'm representing Kyle and my other son. So I have a heavy cross to bear. I have a lot that I have to do. I don't have time to go crazy.
When you are not being Wonder Woman and you got to take the bracelets off. Yes. Yeah. And you don't have to be a superhero, don't have to be strong, don't have to keep it together. How do you allow yourself to have the freedom to get unglued? Do you give yourself permission to, like, okay, I'm not keeping it together today?
I don't know what that looks like. I probably need to have a unglued day.
You did several.
I deserve
Several.
Guys, somebody send me tips on how to unglue myself.
Yeah. I read somewhere only black women have the responsibility of thinking they always have to be strong.
That's a trip. That may be true.
Yeah.
And I've never really thought about that. I don't know. I guess my way of unwinding, I travel. You know, I'll get on a plane, even if it's solo.
Yeah.
I will get on a flight and I will go and see the world. And what travel does for me, it opens my mind to other concepts, just always.
Yeah.
Even when I went to Bali, I stayed a month, and I had to learn how they process death. It was different, how they celebrate, and they put you up on a pedestal, and they carry you around with flowers, and how they celebrate and eat for days, and they dance and sing. And they're not crying and mourning and wearing all black. They're in colorful gear. And so travel really did help me with like my grieving process.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever allowed myself to come all the way unglued. You may be right.
Yeah.
I got to think about that. So if you see me unglued, y'all, he told me I could do it.
Yes. You are a stylist. I dare not step into your territory, but traditionally, blue is a color of authority. Gray is for somebody who is decisive. Red is for somebody who is bold. you decided to wear earth tones. Why?
Well, one, I don't really own any red.
Yes.
I'm not a big color clothing person for
Yes.
myself. So when I do it, it's always a shocker. People are like, oh, look at you all colorful. I'm just, I guess because I want to be very even keel.
Yes.
And I didn't want to present as I'm trying to be up here like, oh. And I didn't want to be boring, and I didn't want to look somber.
Yeah, but is that subconsciously, while I am known, I want to be hidden?
100%. 100%. Low key. 1,000%.
Yeah.
I think that may be true. It's a little bit of demure. I'm a little demure. I am a little demure. As much as I'm funny, I make jokes and I talk and I'm jovial and a little gregarious here and there, but I am shy a little bit. So I am a little demure. So I do, for myself, try to tone it down.
Many years ago, I was going to a reception with Reverend Jesse Jackson, and he had on this suit like he was going to a funeral, and it was not a funeral.
It was a funeral.
I was like, Rev, why you got that on? He said, my personality is a Christmas tree. My presence lights up, so my clothes don't have to.
Interesting. That's true, though.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes, you have a presence that when you walk in the room, that people feel a command of your presence without you ever having to beg or ask for it.
Yeah. I guess that's why I do. I try to dress. I'm really understated. If you look at 100 pictures, you'll say, I think I have one picture I did as a press picture. I wore yellow, and people are like, wow. And I'm a little, yeah.
Yeah, there are millions of women on the planet by age. There are not that many ladies. And so thank you for always representing yourself as a lady with elegance and with dignity and with poise. It's a rare commodity.
That. Thank you.
I want you to really share with the people today why they need this book and what will be the stamp in their passport when they get to a beautiful state.
Yes, that's good. So my book, Here I Stand, is just, I start out from like age 7. I'm young, and I tell whence I came. I tell my whole story about, my parents and being in 2 different religions. And I think that it shapes who I am today. I think all of my earlier experience, I start with the earlier experiences because I wanted you to know who I am today. Who is Tameka today? And I think you get there. I talk about travel and when I was introduced to it. And there's photos in my book. My book is interesting. That's a good book. I'm telling you, if I do say so myself.
Oh, listen, I'm going to keep this one.
Yeah, now I brought that one for you. You can have it.
But you didn't sign it.
I got to get a Sharpie.
All right. Thank you. I'm appreciative. You have been locked in and loaded. You've got to. I know that you're retired now, but you've got to give them one style tip, please.
Ooh.
One for men, one for women.
Okay.
Yes.
Men don't follow too many trends. I say that for both. Dress for your body type, not based off of what's cool. Like, I don't care what's out. That doesn't mean it's meant for your physique. Please dress for your body type. And I think women, put some pants on. Women, I know the trend is, stockings and fishnets and lace, and less is more in that regard. Try to be as classic as possible and try to be as natural as possible. And that doesn't mean you don't wear weaves or wigs. That means make it look as natural as possible. The idea is for it to look like an enhancement, not like you are joining the circus.
Thank you. Live from Ringling Brothers, a.k.a. Soul Circus USA. I'm appreciative. Thank you all. I need you to do me a favor, please. 2 things is my ask today. Number 1, I want you to get Here I Stand in a beautiful state. You can get it at TamekaFosterRaymond.com.
Nope, TamekaRaymond.com.
TamekaRaymond.com.
Or Amazon.
Or Amazon.
Or Audible, if you want to do an audiobook. Yep.
Anywhere else.
That's it.
Okay. So get it at TamekaRaymond.com, Amazon, or Audible. Mm-hmm. The second thing that I need you to do, please, 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 is I want you to go to JamalBryant.org. And I want you to drop all of your information so I can let you know about guests that we have coming. And if you've not already done it, I need you to follow, like, and subscribe to the Jamal Bryant Podcast page that was inspired from an 11-year-old.
Really?
Who had one before, no. Who had one, that had one before me. But I need you all to please follow us. I'm grateful that you have hung out with us on Jamal Bryant Podcast. Let's be clear. I'll see you next time.